The man deliberately soaked his rice in the soup and stirred it a few times. Then he stood up and walked straight toward the gang boss inside the prison. Because Jack wanted to die in prison, he deliberately caused a disturbance. When the gang boss looked at him with a puzzled expression, Jack suddenly poured the bowl of soupy rice over his head. Before the gang boss could react, Jack grabbed a piece of tableware nearby and smashed it down violently. The gang boss collapsed unconscious onto the ground on the spot. Everyone in the prison was stunned, and soon Jack was taken away by the guards. After the first plan failed, Jack immediately decided on his next target. That target was the perverted serial killer in the prison. He was an extremely dangerous figure, and everyone stayed as far away from him as possible. But that day, while working, Jack deliberately walked up to him and spoke provocatively right in front of him. The killer was instantly enraged and secretly pulled out a knife. Seeing this, Jack went along with it and grabbed the man's hand, pressing it against his own body. Just as Jack's plan was about to succeed, the killer suddenly flung his hand away and stopped. What no one expected was that in the very next second, the killer completely broke down. He collapsed to the ground and burst into loud, uncontrollable sobbing. Before long, Jack's actions spread throughout the entire prison. He became like a ferocious demon, making everyone too afraid to approach him. Even the administrators dared not look him in the eye and were forced to give him special treatment. But none of this was what Jack wanted. One day, during a meal, an inmate revealed a piece of news. It turned out that someone had attempted a prison escape the night before and was shot dead on the spot by the guards. That gave Jack a bold idea. That night, he took advantage of the guards' inattention and escaped straight into the fire ducts. He snapped a mob in half and then sprinted toward the yard. Finally, he stood in the center of the yard and shouted loudly at the sentries, trying to get them to shoot him dead. At that moment, the warden noticed the situation through the surveillance cameras and immediately moved to grant his wish. A group of guards surrounded him. Just as they were about to pull the trigger, the warden suddenly realized something was wrong.